Well, it's a foggy morning. Panels are coming this morning, and our son-in-law has some sort of detachable forks that go on a bucket of a tractor. So he's going to work. He's a logger, and he's going to work, so I'm meeting him over at his father's to put those in the truck, and then I can switch them out on the tractor for the bucket. And hopefully when the panels come, it'll be relatively easy just to pick them up off the truck, put them on the ground, then Sid and I can rearrange them after and cover them up and all that kind of fun stuff. But the getting them off and moving them around should be a lot easier with this than having to use another method. Really hoping this isn't the omen for the day. So I get back to the house with the forks. I go to start the tractor. First, there's no key. So then I find the key, so that's a plus. And then I go to try to start the tractor, and all I get is click, click, click. So I got to run back to where Derek is and pick up a set of jumper cables, come back again, and hook it up. Meanwhile, it's like 6:30. I got an hour and a half to get everything all set, ready, buckets changed, before the guy comes. If he's a little late, that really wouldn't bother me. Okay, well, this morning's nightmare has concluded. The tractor never started, and Sid had the great idea. There's a big farm up the street. We know the people. And she had the great idea to run up there with the car, see if by any chance they had forks for a tractor or whatever. And they didn't have forks for a tractor, but they had forks for a skid steer. So luckily, got them to come over, gave the man what I would have deemed too little bit of money, but that's more than he wanted. And we got them unloaded. They're on the ground. We just got to cover them up, put some pieces away. And what was a literal nightmare, because I don't know how we would have done it.
Sid saved the day.
Yep, Sid saved the day. Sid was thinking of her own skin, by the way,
yes,
because each of those panels weighs 130 pounds, and she was just, she was going to figure out a way to hire
a heart attack.
She would have done it, though. I have faith in her.
Yes, they were like 12 feet up in the air.
We would have dropped it down, and then you would have caught it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we got it done. So we got to do some covering up there, putting away some more stuff.
And now we need refreshments.
Yeah, we got to have a break for a little bit. Okay, so I've got the forks in the truck here with this, and I've got to go back to where I got them from so that I can take them off, because this afternoon I've got to go down to White River Junction and pick up the snowplow, and they won't all fit in there. Well, I'm headed out now down to White River. Hopefully that goes without a hitch. Gonna get some gas, that kind of thing. Iced coffee, of course. Probably be Cumberland Farms. Won't be the greatest, but you know, you make do with what you've got on the road. So given that I spend a lot of time on the road, I sort of get used to, you don't like it, but you get used to having those funky coffees. Then when I get back, hopefully with the plow, without problems, then we'll have to put some plastic over all the panels that came this morning, keep them sort of weather tight, and hopefully figure out what's wrong with the tractor, because there's one pile that I'd like to move in line with the others before we plastic it all off. But if we can't get the tractor going, it's going to have to be two piles. Well, started the trip down to White River Junction, and hopefully it all goes well. It's an easy ride. You just stay on this road, and then this is Route 91. You just stay on this road, and then you get off. I think it's exit 12. I'll have to check. I don't remember because I really have done nothing in White River Junction. But given how the morning went, I'm hoping this just goes really smooth. I heard from the man who's buying our house, and even he's like, I don't understand how this, I mean, he called it a little house. I don't know what he's used to, but how one little house is taking so long to go through all the procedures. And it's like, I haven't the vaguest idea how this, and I haven't still heard from her, so I have no idea. Probably some bureaucrat somewhere decided that somebody was maybe laundering money or something like that by buying property and then selling it and blah blah blah. So they came up with this rule that you have to prove that you paid for it to get the deed and what you paid for it. And I just found out this other funny one too. And now I understand it. If you buy a property and you sell it for less, okay, you ready for this one? They have to make a judgment call as to what it's really worth so that you can be appraised of the appropriate tax according to them. Not the tax according to what you actually paid for. Like suppose I had a piece of land that I bought for $10,000. And I just said, okay, I'm going to sell it for $2,000. And somebody comes along and says, okay, I'm going to pay you the $2,000. The government can say, no, that land is worth $8,000, or that land is worth $12,000. You have to pay the taxes and fees, etc., on $12,000, not $2,000. So, you know, the things they do down there, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to sustain over time, because it's just a system that, to me, isn't going to work long term. One thing about Vermont is that when they designed the highway, they designed it so it had some very nice views of the hills and farmland and rivers and stuff like that. So kudos to them years ago, because a lot of highways are just boring. Well, I mean, this is boring because there's nothing here, as you can see. But at least the scenery is nice. Easy enough to find. I've got the plow and all the pieces in the back there, and then as soon as we get the tractor fixed, whenever that will be, hopefully tonight, we will take this out of there, put it someplace for the time being, and that way I won't have to deal with that. I'll probably have to go tomorrow or whatever at some point. I'll get a couple tarps to put over it. A place in St. Johnsbury I can get some relatively cheap. Put the tarps on it, put some bungees or rope around it, let it sit. Then later well, there's not a lot of later this summer, is there? But before winter, I'll have somebody install it on the truck. But it's another piece that's done. Well, I just called Sid. I got probably a little bit to go. But our grandson's at daycare, and since I'm going right by there, and I have a car seat in the truck, I said, do you want me to go pick him up? And she was like, yeah, great, that saves the trip. So I'll pick him up on the way through town. And being a 4-year-old boy, he loves driving in the truck anyway. So he'll enjoy it. Well, we got all the panels wrapped up with plastic, so put some pipes on top. It's about the best as we can do, best that we can do. And we'll just have to see. I mean, if I had to, I can go buy like a really huge tarp and put that on top of it. So we'll see how this does. I'm sure we'll find out like in the next rainstorm or so. But that's secure. That's at least for now, and they're here. Okay, this is one of the basic reasons for this truck. This is the snowplow. This is the frame. That's other parts over here. Let's see. This is a you can't really see it, but the plow's in here. It's like a curved plow. It's 9.5 feet long. So no, you can't really see it. Well, you'll see it another time. But that's what it is. It's a V plow, which, as the name states, and it's 9.5 feet when it's out. So should be able to do some good snow. Hopefully it won't even snow this year or next year or the year after. No, I'm just joking.